You're on, Richard.
Welcome to SCORE's third annual fashion workshop. My name is Richard Stanley, a 15-year volunteer in SCORE, and will be the moderator of today's event. Our first two fashion workshops were held at Houston Community College's Southwest Campus, and thanks to their marketing and faculty support, our most recent workshop was oversubscribed with standing room only for the late arrivals. Special thanks to HCC's Robbie, Maya, Milena, Suzette, and Sandra for their support. As you will hear throughout our presentation today, SCORE Houston's volunteer members are here to support you with over 150 members. But if we do not have the expertise within our 150 members, we can reach out to our over 10,000 other members of SCORE throughout the United States in the 300 other chapters. Our fashion workshop today builds on the best practices of a sound business plan, which all new startups should create. We have plan outlines available on our houston.score.org website. Jerry Hoffman, a designer and clothing manufacturer, and Jim Davis, executive level buyer for several major department store chains, will be presenting the leading edge of not only what the fashion trends are today, but the underlying reasons why the trends are what they are. Combined, Jerry and Jim have over 80 years in fashion design, manufacturing, sourcing, distribution, merchandising, and retail sales. As we cannot cover in depth this highly competitive world of fashion in 2 hours, we will all be available for one-on-one mentoring with you by Zoom, FaceTime, cell, and emails. When this pandemic is over, we will again be opening up our offices for in-person mentoring. We will post a slide at the end of our workshop with our contact details. Remember, all of our SCORE mentoring sessions are free and unlimited, and that includes with our social media expert, Gabby Rendon, who will review the multiple platforms available to you along with the pros and cons of each. We hope you all will be note-taking during our presentation on specific information you would like to learn more about when contacting us for mentoring. And you can ask questions on our chat feature today, or question and answers, that will be addressed following Gabby's presentation. If you tuned in late or would like to revisit our presentation, it will be available on our website, houston.score.org at Take a Workshop. Our SCORE mentors have had many success stories of helping startup businesses, as well as in-business clients that have experienced challenges in growing their business. Of my 30+ fashion-related clients, I'd like to share one exceptional fashion story to illustrate how our volunteer mentors at SCORE came together as a team to support a new fashion boutique owner who had no previous experience in running a business. In 2007, I was assigned a client who had just resigned from a Fortune 500 company and desired to start a brick and mortar women fashion boutique. She was very motivated and focused on helping women in business present themselves in a professional manner. And she exhibited a high level of passion for fashion. In 2008, she opened her first location in Bel Air. She surpassed the sales volume and profitability forecasted in her business plan and accomplished this in less time than predicted. She paid off her bank loan in less than 2 years. That is remarkable. A few years later, she opened her second location. And before opening her third location, a few years later, she had already donated in excess of $100,000 in goods and services to over 15 nonprofit agencies that serve the community, including Dress for Success, Star of Hope, and the Women's Shelter. She shared her success with the community that helped make her business successful. SCORE was there during all the challenges she had. We had CPAs to help her with the business plan financial section, which is the most difficult part of anybody's plan, and they're there to help you. We had lawyers to review her leases. We had the needed resources available through our mentors, all willing to give their time, knowledge, and experience, and at no cost to our clients. We now have over 150 SCORE volunteers in Houston available to you. In 2013, Kairy-Tate was recognized by the SBA with the SBA Woman in Business Champion of the Year. Fast forward to last year, when she opened her 4th location. She was now operating a multi-million-dollar business when the pandemic hit, requiring her temporarily to close all 4 locations. Fortunately, Kairy-Tate had diversified years ago, expanding her website into an active online store sale. The sales revenue generated online has softened the blow of having to close her stores. The SBA-sponsored Paycheck Protection Program forgivable loan she received enabled her to retain staff, and she is slowly reopening her stores. The jury is out on how quickly French Cuff Boutique will return to full operation and profitability. But with Kairy-Tate's proven leadership and success, and knowing that what fashion trends are in vogue, she will succeed again. SCORE's byline is for the life of your business. The 12-year relationship with Kairy-Tate exemplifies this statement. When Jim Davis, who has experience in helping distressed retail stores recover, learned of Kairy-Tate's difficulties, he didn't hesitate to request a co-mentoring session with her, and he's going to be helping her through her difficult times. Simply stated, our goal is your success. There are 2 websites I recommend to my clients. Excuse me a minute. Okay, hopefully you can see this. Of course, French Cuff Boutique at frenchco.com and Red Dress Boutique at reddress.com. Both sites are excellent, but different in unique ways. Read Kairy-Tate's business philosophy on her homepage. On Red Dress website, notice the accessories. Several years ago, they added more fashion accessories like jewelry, sunglasses, not on separate pages only as you often see on websites, but on the models. The average invoice increased by 20%. Customers were purchasing the coordinated companion pieces on the clothing that they displayed with. Lost my page here. Okay. We have, in addition to the 150 SCORE volunteers in Houston, there are over 10,000 throughout the United States members of other chapters totaling 300 chapters. If we don't have the expertise in Houston, we can help you find the expertise elsewhere. Give me just a minute, I've lost one of my pages. Okay. Coming back, I'm sorry, to the Red Dress Boutique. As an additional benefit of the display change, profits increased as the markup on jewelry is much greater than on most clothing items. And now our first of our 2 fashion experts, Jerry Hoffman, will present his take on current and trending fashions. Jerry, take over.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and hopefully you can hear me well here. We're gonna talk about what's going on in the retail business today, and we, of course, we've got bad news and good news. The bad news is that there are tremendous amounts of people going out of business today. Nordstrom's going to close 40 stores, Macy's 30 stores, Neiman Marcus 50. All that's not good, but there's millions and millions of dollars, right, that would have been bought at these stores. And so the good news is, I think they're going to be buying it online. And so I think most people here that are listening to this webinar are thinking about doing an online business. And so the good news is, even though there's Amazon taking the majority of the business, if you can find ways to attract people to your website and bring out some unusual garments, you can get some of that millions and millions of dollars that's available to you. Before we start talking about buying and everything, let me, I think I've narrowed down the people that are going to be looking in today at the webinar. One is, I think there might be some people who are just not ready to go online, but just want to hear what's going on in the retail business. And I think there's some maybe people still in college that are listening, and you're not ready to do a one-on-one meeting with a mentor. But I strongly suggest that if you're serious, even if you're just want to keep your job and want to do business as a sideline, you want to make an extra 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 a year, or if you're serious and want to do this as a full-time job, then you really want to have a one-on-one meeting. And so, Raj, if you don't mind, we made up a chart here of who the people are. And Richard doesn't talk much today, so let me talk about Richard Stanley on the bottom name here for his website. This guy is tenacious, and he is meticulous, and he's going to give you a lot of homework. But I guarantee you that if you decide to do a one-on-one, you want to pick somebody, okay? And he's one of the ones you want to pick. He's had success both with brick and mortar people, but he's also had success with online stores. You want to have a meeting with him, okay? Or if not him, then Jim Davis. Jim Davis, the advantage with him is that you have a guy who has both retail background and wholesale background. So he was with Ann Taylor, and he was with Macy's, so tremendous background. And he's also, of the three of us that know the clothing business, he's the nicest. And then myself, I'm the worstest. So, but at least you'll have more fun with me than the other two. Okay, so I strongly urge you. And by the way, one of the advantages of SCORE is that you might, let's say, pick me, and you find out that I'm too pushy or driving you crazy, so you just leave me alone and go switch to Jim or Richard. And then this is a no-brainer. If you're going to go in the online business, and as good as you are in knowing the internet, you have somebody who's an expert, Gabriella Rendon, who's speaking last, and obviously you want to at least meet with her at least one time or 3 or 4 times, because she's an expert on social media and digital marketing. So take advantage of our free service, okay? And I think let's get started and talk about, Raj, we'll go to the next slide. Before we do, I think I'd like to let you know that I'd like to give you some facts, and I'm very opinionated, so I'm going to give you opinions before we even start. So if you look at your wardrobe, ladies out there, if you look at your wardrobe, this is a fact. 80% of a woman's wardrobe is a top, okay? And the reason I bring that up is because I've seen hundreds of websites, online websites, and what you have on there are people who have pants, tops, caftans, rompers, jumpers. You're all over the place, and nobody can identify with what you're trying to sell. And particularly if those people out there that only have 5, 10, or 15,000 to get started, then you need to focus on an area. And so one of my strong suggestions is that you think about tops. 80% of the wardrobe, if you look in your wardrobe, are tops. And you walk by a store, a brick and mortar store, and if you saw a cute top, you might go in there and buy that. I don't care if it was $100. You might, if it's real cute, you might buy it. So that's one of the opinions I have. Richard kind of touched a second ago on another opinion I have. I think if you're starting in business, whether it's only 5,000 or it's 100,000 that you're starting with, I think 10% to 15% of what you offer should be jewelry, not clothing. So why do I bring that up? Because you have markdowns in the clothing business. You rarely have a markdown in costume jewelry, and the markup, just an average markup in the, which we're going to talk about later, is about 2.5%. So if something costs $20, you multiply times 2.5 and you're going to reach out for 50. In the jewelry business, it's 6, 7, 8 times. Something costs $10, you could get 40, 50, 60. So you get that much more. So that helps with your margins of profits. One of the other disadvantages is I made pants when I was in business, and you can make the most perfect 8, fits lots of people with a size 8, but not every 8 because of the body shape. So that someone orders an 8 from you and you're selling pants, it may not fit her just because this particular size 8. So there's a chance that you might have a markdown. And again, particularly those people who are starting with $5,000 to $20,000 in business, you need to focus on something. So I also don't think you ought to start with dresses either. But if you're someone who really likes dresses and you want to get started with it, then sure, do dresses. Then do dresses and tops, and that's all. Don't do the pants and the caftans and all the other things I said, particularly when you're first getting started and you want to really make an impression on the customer of what you're selling and understanding your target customer. So talking about a target customer, basically you could narrow down the ladies' business, in particular the ladies' business, to 2 segments. One is the young customer who's 18 to 35, and then you could talk about the customer, that was my customer that I sold, was 35, 40 years old to 70, okay? It's called the Missy customer as opposed to the young Missy customer. And so you need to understand your customer and I'll probably give you a cute little example. I sent my sister, when I first was started in business, she lives in New York, I sent her 6 outfits. And so what was amazing, that was free. She sent it all back. I was known for my brights because I sold a lot of my business in the Southeast and the Southwest. So she hated it all. But anybody in New York, if you're walking down the street, you see anybody with color on it, they're not from New York, okay? They're definitely not. So know your customer, okay? So I didn't know that my sister lives like a New Yorker. Navy or black, that's all they wear. Just for fun, I think one of my clients and Raj's clients, and let me digress for a second and say, I'd like to add somebody to that list that, Raj, if you can go back to that list of mentors for a second, please. I'd like to add, not everybody maybe wants retailing help, but they need business plan help. Okay, so I'm going to add Raj's name. That if you need a business plan, there's nobody at SCORE that's better than this guy. So it's Raj, R-A-J, dot Masharala, M-A-S-H-R-U-W-A-L-A. M-A-S-H-R-U-W-A-L-A at scorevolunteer.org. So you might need him instead of the 3 that I anyway, back to Raj and I have an account called Tony by Tony. I think it's Tony by Toni, and I think hopefully she's listening in. And she could tell you that Raj and I helped her. She was doing great business online. She sells family t-shirts, mom, dad, son, daughter, and also super dad, super mom. And so cute stuff. Go to her website, and my goal today is to sell 10 t-shirts just for fun. And so anyway, where we were able to help her at SCORE was that she had this t-shirt maker that didn't sell any quality, always was late, printing was off. And so she came to us, and we found her somebody who today is able to print it, package it, ship it, all in, I think, $6 to $8, okay? Unbelievable. So anyway, that's one way we can help. That's what I mean why SCORE services are so good. So we have another account. Anybody's in the medical field, if you need a scrub, we have an account, Raj and I, that she's starting a new scrubs. And why is she going to be in business? Because she's going to be different. She just doesn't have the regular pant and the regular top. So again, I want to sell 6 scrubs today. So you have my email, get to me and we'll help sell her 6 pieces today. We're having fun today. Okay. So let's go back to understanding your target customer, analyzing your competition. Remember, I'm making up this number, 18, 20,000 people that are going to have online stores. So how are you going to get their attention? Number one, they got to get to your website. And number two, you have to offer something that's different. You can't offer a white blouse. I don't think you can today. Offer a white blouse and that it's, where it's a really good price. That just ain't going to do it. Okay. So I think we discussed the bottom thing here, which is on the slide here, is narrow your focus, which I strongly suggested that you do tops, and if not tops only, then narrow it down to tops and dresses. Okay, let's go to the next
Jerry,
slide.
a question. Do the tops include jackets?
Sure, tops is a jacket, yes. That's part of the women's wardrobe, that's 80%, yes. But mainly tops. Before I continue, what goes through my mind all the time is how did I get in the ladies business is a cute, fun fact story, and also I'll give you an opinion. So I was manufacturing men's sweaters, and early in my marriage, I was in my closet, and my wife's closet, mine, and my wife's got 6 pair of black pants in there. Unbelievable. All she needs is one, right? So we had dinner at a friend's house that weekend, and I said, do you mind? I'm taking a survey of the ladies' business. I just like to look in your closet. So I go into this, and by the way, my wife had 4 pairs of jeans. So then I go in this lady's closet. She's got 9 black pants and 6 denim. I said, oh my God, what am I doing in the men's business? So not immediately, but about a year later, I decided I better get in the ladies' business because you ladies are nuts. I mean, what do you do? One lady said to me, yeah, I need one to go to the drugstore, one to go to work in, one to go to the movies in. I mean, crazy. So I designed a lot of my clothes to go with 3 things. One, and this is a suggestion that I'm making and an opinion, I designed it to go with denim. All my tops always basically went with denim. They all went with black pants, and they went with white pants. Those are the three magical things. And I jokingly, Jim, who's going to speak after me, used to be with Ann Taylor, and the way they designed their line was the first 12 body styles for the new line were black, and then the 13th or 14th was black on black. I mean, they were so boring, but they made billions of dollars. So what the heck do I know? So let's go to the next slide, Raj, if we can, please. So Jim, if you're not, are you unmuted?
Yeah,
Good, okay, so an example of something that's different. So look at the dress here in the middle, and what do you see?
I don't see a dress. I see a great looking woman.
Oh, okay, well, I
Oh
see,
yeah, I see the dress now.
oh, you see a dress, okay. What I
Yeah.
see is an asymmetrical dress with the fringe on the bottom that's totally different than a lot of dresses. I see that dress that I would sell it to my regular customer, regular woman customer, but certainly a person who's in the rodeo kind of and Western field might buy that dress. So two of the tops I picked here were on purpose. Both these tops are animal prints. So for 1,200 years, every single season, it's never out of season. So for me, I would never have a line that didn't have some animal prints in it. Now, if you're starting with $5,000 or $10,000, you may not have the room to put an animal print in every year, but I strongly suggest that animal prints are in your thinking as an idea. And so I thought these were unusual. Look at the bottom of the sleeve on the right-hand side of the animal print. And oh my God, look at that. They're wearing denim. Isn't that interesting? So the tops not only are cute, but they go with denim. Let's go to the next slide if we can, Raj, I appreciate it. So here I picked something which I thought was unusual because it was a crisscross with grommets, and caftans happened to be in this season, or in most of the seasons. And so I picked what I felt like might attract somebody if I was trying to get some business and wanted to have an unusual top. And oh my gosh, look at the denim that she's wearing with that top. Let's go to the next top. Next slide. So the reason I picked this slide was I like two things the way this store did this. Number one, on the right-hand side was Raja just mentioned by the way, I've been co-mentoring with Raj for so long. That's why he knows as much about this business as I do now. He already mentioned jackets. So here we are with the jacket, but I purposely picked this jacket because this year orange is the fashion color. So there's a reason why people might buy that jacket if I had it on my online business. Was number one, orange is a fashion color and it's a cute little short crop jacket. And to the left, I like the way they presented the blouse. Instead of just buttoned up, she's got it tied up and showed a different way of wearing a blouse. So let's go on to the next slide. Again, here, I'm looking for tops that are not just a normal top. And so again, I think this is an unusual sleeve top, and so that's the reason I picked this. Nothing, anything special here other than I'm trying to emphasize to you, if you're gonna go online, you've got to have something that's different and unusual, and I think those are two tops that are different. Oh, and look at the one on the right. She's wearing denim also. Wow. Okay. Next slide, Raj, please. So purposely picked this just to show you the difference between a young look. I sold the Missy customer. So the print on the right, oh, look, it's an animal print, because animal prints always sell, and particularly to the Missy customer, the 40 to 75-year-old lady. So this shows you the difference. A young lady probably would hate that blouse. And then on the left, denim sells whether it's a bottom or a top, and that was an unusual jacket with some embroidery. So the reason I picked this as an idea. And look in the background, she's wearing white pants. So usually white, black, denim. That's what the ladies' world is basically all about. In Ann Taylor's case, it's only about black. I'm teasing you, Jim. Okay, let's go to the next slide, please. So I think when, Gabrielle is going to be talking about how to make your website better and all the other advantages of the website, but the reason I put this particular slide up was because I mainly focused, and most of my business was done in the Southeast and the Southwest because I only had brights, mainly brights in my line. And instead of just putting up 3 bright tops, say something about them. So the magic of color is what I put in. So it just tells you what's going on. But you could have changed that, and you could say tops that go with denim, right? Because all these tops go fabulous with denim. And speaking about that, on the left side, she's wearing denim, right? So anyway, tell something, put a heading, magic of color, denim something. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so when you're picking your merchandise that you're going to have online, that you're going to have on your website, I think it's helpful to you to do what I call little vignettes. So you could have 2 or 3. You could have 2 bright colors or 3 bright colored tops, or you can have 2 or 3 textured. So I'm telling a story here, little vignettes. So it says, hey, this is what's in fashion, and here's 2 to 3 different textures that you can buy. So again, putting up a title to what the story is here. And same story here, all these tops go with denim. I didn't pick this because it had denim bottoms. I picked the top, but they all, again, magically go with denim. Thanks, Raj, if you go to the next one. Okay, so again, if you're pushing stretch, there's a cute little blouse. And last night I'm looking at the slides here, and I'm looking at the lady on the left wearing the stretch pants. And I said, God, I sure hope those pants are stretch, otherwise she'll never be able to get those off. Unbelievable. Anyway, the stretch is always in, and that's cute on the right hand side with lace. And by the way, you could wear that lace knit top with a dressy black pant, one of the 15 in your wardrobe, you ladies, or you could wear it with denim, right? So great little top for me. Let's go to the next slide. And okay, so this season and almost every season, I think Ruffles are pretty much in. And I thought these were cute young tops that were different. I love on the left side, the white blouse. And again, look, you could be in your line and on your website, you could have that jewelry. You could have bought that 10% of your jewelry. Hold it, Raj. Yeah, you could buy the jewelry there on the left side as part of what you're selling and show it together with the blouse. Next slide, please. Thanks. So I have an opinion here. On the right side, if there's anybody on the webinar now that doesn't think that is the cutest little top, don't ask for me as a mentor, because that girl is just cute as a button in that top. So don't ask for me, ask for Jim or Richard, okay? That top is so darling, okay? And I purposely, on this pick, on the stripes, the 2 left and right are for the younger, and then the Missy customer, which was my customer. And again, look, it's not just a dumb stripe, right? I was gonna say dumbass, but anyway, dumb stripe. And it's with the crisscrossing and everything, what a cute Missy top. But anyway, one of my favorite tops of everything we've shown here today is the young lady on the right. Okay, let's go on. I just sent you a customer, Jim. Okay, so I said create an exciting website. This was one of my clients. This guy sold men's ties, and I thought he did an outstanding job that was the top of his website. How cute to have a lady with a bow tie, even though he's selling men's ties. Thought that was really cute. One other thing that I'm reminded here when I look at this. This guy was stuck with about 150 or 60 ties when he came to me. And I'm not good at too many things, but one of them is I know how to get rid of old merchandise. So if there's somebody out there that's already in business and you're stuck with merchandise, you want to see me, because I've got all sorts of great ideas and germs of ideas to get rid of old merchandise. So anyway, that's the only thing I'm good at. All right, let's go on to the next slide. So I stole this idea and want to talk about the name of the website, which is also one of my favorite websites. They're not doing it anymore. It's called Mint, M-I-N-T, Julep, J-U-L-E-P. And the way they did it was they told their story in 6 seconds. And this is what they did. The first frame came, I'm on easy returns on the left side, frame 1. The way they did it was the first frame said in 2 seconds, easy returns. The second frame came up, free shipping. So on the first frame, if you're a woman looking at a website, easy returns. How comfortable does that make you that you can return the goods? Second frame was free shipping. So now it's easy for me to return. I get free shipping. And the next 2 seconds, new arrivals there. In 6 seconds, she told the whole story of what their website was all about. New arrivals daily. I need to look at this website often because they always have new arrivals. So I stole that idea and I said, you know what? You people out there maybe could do on your website, open up with, and by the way, you do pictures of they didn't have pictures. I added the pictures. You could have pictures and tell the story. But my suggestion is you do frame 1 where you do all 3 in 1 frame. Then on the second frame, so that took 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds, which is 9 seconds that you could tell your story. Frame 2, tops that are fashion and fun, or instead of that, tops that go with denim and black pants and white pants. Our fabrics are worn year round. So tells them, hey, don't have to worry. And then the frame 3 is our expertise is trends, our forte is color direction, or you could just say, all these tops go with denim, right? So in 9 to 12 seconds, wow, have you told a story? So Gabriella's gonna do all the other extra things about your website, but quickly let them know how exciting you are and what you have to offer. Okay, let's go to our next website, next slide, excuse me. Okay, so we're going to talk about keystone, markup, and markdowns. So keystone is just a terminology, nothing that important. It's just a terminology in the ladies' business and men's business, is that when you sell something for twice as much, something costs 20, it keystones for 40. So it's just keystone meaning double. Okay, just an expression. So let's talk about markup. The average today for the ladies' business is basically 2.3 to 2.5. So something, let's make it easy for our mathematical minds. Let's take 2.5. So if you go to the market and you buy something for $20 times 2.5, you should be getting $50 for it. Okay? If you bought it for 30, 2.5, $75. So when you're at market and you're looking at something and the guy or girl, lady who's selling you says, yeah, this is $30, you immediately got to say, that's going to sell for $75. Does that look like a $75 top or dress or whatever it is, okay? So that's what the average is. And again, we'll get back to jewelry. Again, the markup there is 4 and 5 times. So that's the reason I kept bringing about jewelry. So let's go to markdown. I'm going to talk about markdown twice. So what is the definition of a markdown? It's the stupid customer didn't buy the merchandise I had online, and so I got to mark it down. Well, that was a joke, okay? The markdown, what a markdown is merchandise that didn't sell, and you want to get rid of it because the purpose of a markdown is to get rid of that merchandise so that you can buy new, fresh merchandise. So in today's world, in my opinion, it's just stupid to mark down things 20%, 25%. Don't mean anything. You want your money back so you can buy fresh new merchandise. So you need to be talking about really, you could say 30, but 40 and 50%. Who cares? Let's just use an example. If you let's take that example, it costs $20. You marked it 2.5 as $50. And if you had it on sale for 50% off, that'd be $25. You paid $20 for it, you still made money, but you got back your money so you could buy new and fresh merchandise. Okay, please be clear on that. Okay, that don't worry about the fact that you had to give it away for 50 or let's give it away for 60% off. 60% off of 50 is $20. That's what you paid for it. So your markup is 60%. Okay, let's do the next slide here, and we'll probably talk about markdown again. Okay, so I'm going to do something a little bit different today. Usually we do a seminar, and this is, if you don't listen to anything else I've said today and just took one note, I'd like you to take a note now. Although I'm not going to go through this now, you're going to have to make an appointment with Richard Stanley, with Jim, or myself to get in. But this is the single most important thing. So I'd like you to write this down. In my career, I know of at least 30 or 40 retail stores that went out of business because they had too much inventory, and particularly that first year in business. It's treacherous, it's dangerous, okay? So I want you to make a note that I don't ever want to overbuy. That's your note. And so I don't trust you out there. I can't see you, and I don't think you're taking the note, so I'm going to give you a way to remember what I just said and how important this is. The jerk that was on the webinar said that I need to control my inventory. One way or another, I'm going to get you to remember that, okay? Whether you wrote it down or you remembered that silly statement. Okay, Raj, if you go to the next slide, it's going to be all the numbers and how you do the open to buy so that you don't overbuy, and that you just can't, you need to get rid of your old merchandise before you start buying new things all the time. So we're going to pass this slide up, even though it's so important, because they need to come see us. Okay, so assortment planning. So I'd rather change this to just planning. So think of yourself, Jim's going to be talking in a minute, where you're going to go, how do you buy, and so forth. So while you're now going to wherever Jim tells you, and let's pick a number. You're thinking about starting your business with only $5,000. You use your numbers that you really are going to do. I'm going to just take a $5,000 online store. Immediately, you don't want to use all your money up, so let's just take 60% of that. So you're going to start with $3,000. You're going to go to market thinking about planning on spending $3,000. And maybe you'll add $500 for jewelry, so $3,500. But anyway, let's use $3,000, okay? So the average price that you think you're buying your dresses, tops, you better be tops, is $30. So I try to make it really easy. So my average top is gonna cost me 30, some 35, some 25. It's gonna cost me 30. 30 into 3,000, I could buy 100 garments. That's all my open to buy is. I can only buy 100 garments. And when you're at market, if you're gonna be buying in the United States for the beginning, you're gonna have to, they usually pack them six to, so 1, 2, 2, 1, or however they do it. So 6 into 100 is 16 to 17 styles is what you're going to. So you now know planning, going to market. I can only buy, if you have only $3,000, about 16 styles, unless what you're buying is $30, then it's even less than that, okay? So now you know you're gonna buy 16 styles, and let me tell you another thing that I strongly suggest to you. Do not leave an order at market, okay? And what do I mean by that? Yes, you like this, and this, but you wanna get home and analyze it, and so take pictures because you're gonna forget what you really liked. And you're gonna buy by style, so you have all these different tops, but when you go to a showroom, what happens is most manufacturers sample in black or white. So you could end up buying 16 black tops if you don't watch out, okay? Because it always looks great in black. So when you can get home, you got all these styles, you know they come in different colors, you'll assort. So I want to have, by color on the bottom there, by color, I'd like to have about maybe 5 tops in black and 3 in khaki and 3 in red and so forth. So you can plan and analyze, and you won't be able to do that at market, particularly if you're brand new. It's your first time you're at market. You want to take pictures, tell the salesperson that you're going to give them an order. You just want to analyze it when you get home. And by the way, when you're in a showroom, you need to tell them you're brand new in business and you'd rather buy more styles. Is there any way that you would give it to me? I could buy 4 of a style, and this way I'll buy more styles from you. Most of the times they can't, if the company's policy is 6, there's nothing you can do. There's also another way. Some people that I've talked to recently, I think Brandy, you might be on this webinar. She's going to buy some from AliExpress, not Alibaba. Alibaba has minimums, but AliExpress doesn't have minimums. So you can buy 4 or 3, which is a good way to get started. The negative on AliExpress, of course, is that you could have 6-week and 8-week delivery. It takes time, but still a good way to get started if you wanted to. And by size is the last thing to talk about on the planning and on size. Most things are packed 1, 2, 2, 1, but if they don't have those restrictions, if you're after that younger customer, that size 2 and 4, you might want to size it 2, 2, 1, 1. Okay, 2 small, 2 medium, 1 large, 1 extra large. Okay, Raj, I can't remember what's the next slide. The next slide is Jim. So I'm going to leave you, Jim, and I hope I know how to get out of here to get a cup of coffee while you're talking for a second. And I thank everybody for listening. I thank you for coming. And I'll again suggest that you see Jim or Richard, and for sure, Gabrielle is a no-brainer. And then maybe see me too if you want to pick me. Okay, Jim, take over.
Yeah. Well, Jerry, I have to tell you, you're not going to get very many calls. All right. You're too opinionated. That's a joke, folks. My name is Jim Davis, and as he said, I spent a long time in the fashion retail world. At the end of my career, I was with Ann Taylor, responsible for the design team as well as the sourcing team worldwide. So we did that. But we're going to talk about some of these things, and I'm going to reiterate again and again and again many of the points that Jerry said, and in some cases, I might be even more emphatic and tell you that when you're beginning, it's called tops, tops, and tops. I would vote no on dresses, no on bottoms, no on, other than some jewelry. You, with a limited amount of money, you just cannot, as you just went through and saw how few styles you can buy with pre-packing by manufacturers and all of that. Excuse me. So you don't want to, you need to have some success under your belt before you start to broaden your assortments. Okay,
Okay.
you can move on now, Raj. No, yeah. I need the big map. Yep. This is just to give you an idea of what's going on in the world. Obviously, I think we all know that that Europe, that Asia, China, now Vietnam, a lot less in Korea, Japan. India is doing a lot more than it used to do. That's where the merchandise comes from. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go to those particular places in order to get some of that merchandise. The truth of the matter is, it's almost all, well, you go shopping, you look at all the labels and where, made in, made in, made in. It doesn't matter what the label says. It could be Calvin Klein, it can be Donna Karan, it can be any number of Nautica, any brand, whatever it is. None of it's made in the US. As you can see, we only do like 9%, and most of that's t-shirts and cotton underwear. That's the majority of the goods that are actually still made in the US. There are some shops making some stuff, American Girl in Los Angeles, so forth, but it's as you can see, a very small percentage. But the domestic manufacturers, which are people like Nautica or Calvin Klein or any of those kinds of people, they're buying all that product in Asia and using worldwide resources. So you don't really need to worry about having to go to any of these places until you are very, very successful in your business. And since we're here in Houston, excuse me, assuming that most of the audience is from the Texas region, Dallas is the most logical apparel mart to go to. And you can do the, Dallas Apparel Mart. You can Google them. They have regular shows that they can do. Atlanta is a slightly bigger apparel mart, but why go there? Almost everybody you can want to see is probably going to be in Dallas. Atlanta's good. There are 2 shows a year in Las Vegas. It's called Magic. It started as a men's group back in the 70s. It was called the Men's Apparel Guild in California, which is where the word magic came from. But it's now got to the point where it was in San Diego, then it was in Los Angeles, and it outgrew both of those convention facilities. And now it's in Las Vegas, and it's easily half men's, half women's. I mean, it is a fantastic show, but I strongly would not recommend you do that till you have several trips to the Dallas Mart under your belt. New York is, of course, where most of these people are headquartered, and they don't have apparel marts. Every single company has their own place. The women's business is on 7th Avenue, and it's in giant tall buildings, and virtually every floor in the 30, 40, 50-story building has got different manufacturers in it. And I would never recommend that you start out doing that. You'll drive yourself crazy. Now, how do you do this? I'm going to deviate here for a minute, because if you want to go to the Dallas Mart, they don't allow people just to walk in. That's not what they do. They want credentials, as they say. The rules change from time to time. And in today's world of Corona-19, I really at this point do not know what the rules are. But in most cases, you're going to need your DBA. And if you don't have one, you can get one. In Harris County, it costs $16 to get one. You can do it online now, or you can go to the Harris County Courthouse and get a DBA, which will have the name of your company. You obviously should have a business card that's in the name of your company with addresses and phone and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes they want to see a business checking account. There are a lot more things that you need in the mechanics of starting a business from scratch, but I'm just mentioning those few little things because those are the kinds of things the people at the Dallas Apparel Mart or Atlanta or even Las Vegas at Magic are going to want to see to allow you to get in, because they don't want people off the street wandering up and down their aisles. The showrooms have a lot of merchandise in it, and they protect it fairly carefully. And in some cases, there could be some small fees. Most of the time, it's under $100, but until you have some kind of reputation and you're in their data bank, getting into some of these marts can cost you some money the first time. Second time, usually nothing. And but you're going to need some of that stuff to prove who you are and that you have a viable business, and you should be in the mart. Okay, now I want to move on to my next slide, Raj, and I'm going to talk about the same thing, because if Jerry and I could talk for 2 hours, we'd still be talking about unusual tops, unusual merchandise, something that's going to make you stand out on the website. And I have picked a few others, some of them very young, and some of them, I mean, that pink blouse could be very easily a Missy customer, although with those kind of sleeves, most women, 50 and up, aren't into sleeveless things because they don't like the underside of the arm and all that kind of stuff. So it has a tendency to be younger, but these are younger. The next one, Raj. And again, a jacket, very contemporary. This is obviously not the Missy customer at all, but these were things that I saw that were different from Jerry's, but at the same time, a lot of fun and creative and different. Lots of people do a little take on a motorcycle jacket, but they don't do it in white very often. It's mostly black or red. But so that's next one. And here we got some more unusual tops. And again, we have texture. These are young and contemporary, but that happens to be more my expertise. Jerry was joking a lot because Ann Taylor is not all black. We were, in fact, when I got there 25 plus years ago, we didn't have enough black. We had way too much color and way too dumb. And it's still a lot that way, but we moved over time and got better. But again, the whole point of all of these tops, whether they're mine or the ones that I showed or Jerry showed, is trying to make you understand that if you're going to put something out there, you've got to understand what's on Amazon. You need to study it carefully because they've got a gazillion tops. You need to look at other stores like Macy's and J. Jill and Express and even Kairy-tate at French Cuff. You need to understand what they're showing so that you can do your very best in trying to pick things, you know, that are one, sellable. I mean, we can all go out and buy some really far out materials and or styles, but will they sell? So you've got to balance what you can sell and also be unique, cute, fashionable, etc., etc. Okay, let's see. I'm supposed to talk a little bit about terms, and in the last couple of years, this has changed radically. There are different terms for men's and women's. However, in the age of all of this internet stuff, terms have gotten to the point where now it's called a credit card. You buy stuff, you give them an order, you went to the market like Jerry said, you picked out styles, you came home, you balanced out the colors and the sizes and all the other stuff, and now you're going to give them an order. They're going to tell you that it's when they have the order ready to ship, they're going to call you. You're going to give them a credit card number. You're going to pay for it right then and there, and then they're going to ship it to you. And that's how it kind of works. Once you've been in business and doing business with vendor XYZ for a couple of seasons or maybe a couple of years, you might move to the more traditional terms that Macy's or those kind of people, Nordstrom's, Dillard's might get doing business. And in the women's business, it's called 810 EOM, which means you get an 8% discount if you pay by the end of the month. And but that also could be changing, and with everything that's going on with store closures and you know, COVID-19 and the compound effect, I have to tell you, terms are going to be changing radically. Men's is always net 30 or net 60 in almost all cases, but women's, they do this 810 EOM, or they used to do whatever it is. But now for your particular purposes, opening, it doesn't matter, brick and mortar or online business, it's going to be COD, pay by credit card, then they ship the merchandise. To be honest with you, in today's world, especially with the world that we're in as of now, this particular slide is of very little value. The only good part that I can say that it's going to apply, whether you're a brick and mortar or you're an online store, is your visual presentation. And as you saw those pictures, those were real people wearing real clothes being photographed. You can't just photograph a blouse laying on a table and then put it up on a website. You're going to need models. So things like great photography, which this picture, it gets across the point. So, and that is an expense that you're going to have if you're going to have an online, is you're going to have to figure out. Now, smartphones today have great cameras on them and you can do stuff, but having the right backdrop, whether you're out in the park or on a street, and a great looking model, even if it's just your sister or a best friend or whatever it is, so you're not paying, you know, $250 an hour for a professional model. You just have to go out or buy them dinner or whatever it is and talk your best looking friends to come and be your models. We can move on now. This is irrelevant. This I'm going to talk, this is going to require some effort. As Jerry talked about, you know, sometimes our customers are not as smart as we would like them to be, and so they don't buy this beautiful stuff that we just bought and put on our website. And whether it is, this is a concept that goes back, it's like Jerry said, tops for 1,200 years has been the most important, and it's really not 1,200, but it's the 80-20 concept. And what does that mean? That means that 80% of your business, of your revenue, comes from 20% of your inventory. Do I need to repeat that? 80% of your sales comes from 20% of your inventory. Do you understand the other side of the coin? That means 20% of your business is coming from 80% of your inventory. And guess what? That 80% has a lot in it. Stuff that's not selling. We like in the industry, we like to call them dogs. They're really bow wow dogs. And no matter how careful you pick the styles, no matter, and it doesn't matter whether you're a Neiman Marcus or you're a Macy's or you're in your own little online retailer, nobody can pick it perfect. It just never happens. That's why when you go in, it doesn't matter, Neiman Marcus, what is it now? Right, well, it's pretty much starting now. If they're open, they're marking down. They got racks and racks and racks of markdowns, things that customers didn't buy. The buyer thought they were all going to be winners, but they're not, because your customer narrows the assortment down to the winners. And so it's very important to understand that even though you're not doing it intentionally, when you buy those 16, 17 styles that Jerry was talking about, 2 of them are going to be phenomenal. 2 of them are going to be absolute bow wow dogs. And the rest of them are going to be in the middle along the way. Some of them closer to the bow wow side and some of them closer to the winner side. But they're going to be there. So I think if you go to the next slide, we're going to talk about, yes, my famous $500 bottles of wine. But it's not apparel. In wine, apparel doesn't get better with age. And you can say, oh, I got in these things and I'm too early. We've had too many cold fronts in March and this spring merchandise, I just need to wait. If they like it, they buy it. If they like it, they buy it. Doesn't matter if we just had a cold front and had a little frost. Doesn't matter. And it's sleeveless or it's swimwear, it doesn't matter. You have to be disciplined to recognize that it's been on your website now for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, no action. You've got other things that have sold. It's time to do something. And that's, and as Jerry so aptly pointed out, the first markdown is the cheapest. You want to get your money back so you can go back to the market and try again and use what just happened. Where were the winners and where were the losers, and don't do it again. But keeping in mind always that fashion is evolving all the time. So that orange jacket he showed you, because everybody's walking around going, orange is the new black. Well, newsflash, orange is not the new black. Orange will not be around a year from now or 5 years from now. And as Jerry put it, black's going to be around forever. Every woman's got black pants in her wardrobe. So orange is not going to be the new black, even though they like to say that. It's going to last a season, maybe 2 seasons. After that, there won't be orange. There'll be bright yellow or lime green or chartreuse, whatever it is. There's going to be they have tried for 100 years to replace black, and they can't do it. It just doesn't work. So taking your markdown so that you can go back into the market. I have a frog in my throat. Excuse me. And try again. And you just keep refining and trying to evolve, keeping, using the web, looking at fashion magazines, and try to figure out, where's color going, where's knitwear versus, because tops can be in cotton, they can be in silk, they can be in polyester, they can be in rayon or viscose. Knitwear can be, super fine or heavy, bulky. So there's lots of variety there, and figuring out where do you want to be. Are we going into fall? Do we need a few light sweaters because we don't wear super heavy sweaters down here? We may own a few, but they don't get worn a lot because it doesn't get that cold, especially these days. So take your markdowns, bite the bullet. They aren't your children. You're not having to, send them out of the house. You just, it's purely business. I bought it. I loved it. I wanted it. I got it. They don't like it. Mark it down, make it go away, and try again. And that is retail. That is exactly what you have to do. Okay, so I think it's time for me to pass the wand over to Gabriella, and she's gonna do her own gig, and she's gonna talk to you a lot about social media and how to make that drive your website.
Okay.
You're on, Gabby.
Thank you, Jim. Okay, hello everybody, and thank you for joining us today. I'm going to share my screen so everybody can look about it. There you are. Okay. Well, as they were saying today, we're going to talk about the digital marketing, especially about how to make a very attractive website and how it can be SEO friendly, so you can attract a lot of traffic to your website, to your fashion store, and you can have sales. Okay, so as Jean and Jerry were telling us, an online store has a much wider reach than a brick and mortar, and the location is on the website, on your environment in the cyberspace. You need to have a lot of traffic. So in the first part that you would like to have a clear message. That's the reason I choose GAP right now. You have a clear message that represents your ideal client, which is your target customer. What age are you looking for? What kind of geographical region? As Jerry said, New Yorkers do not have the same taste as us in Houston. So you need to know which one is your target audience and you have just 3 seconds to convince them to stay on your website. So here in Gap, if you can see, we have good jeans, good tees, good for all, Gap for good is good, 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 good. So Gap is telling you that they are very good at what they're doing. They are telling you all the demographics that they're looking for. And what makes them unique is because, in this case, the denim is software. They have less water than traditional washes. They are crazy soft tees. And of course, the call to action down here, which is shop software denim, because we don't like the stiff denims that we used to have like back in the 80s, that they can walk by themselves out of the washer. So one of the things that you have to look for right now in a website is to have gorgeous product galleries. You have to have that amazing picture that represents your sale, your online presence, and you need to have a very easy way to navigate the website. For example, nowadays we have what it is, the responsive layout. We need to have, it needs to adjust from the desktop view to a mobile phone, because mobile devices are where we use our online shopping or online research on what do we want to do. We scroll down. So you need to have what it is called a responsive layout. The website will adjust as you scroll down to fit in your screen, and it will adjust to smartphones and tablets. So we have beautiful pictures, we have the name, we have the percentage, we have the call to action, the now 50% off limited time deal. And that is exactly what you need to have on a customer-friendly website. You need to have gorgeous pictures. It has to be intuitive. It has to be easy for us to navigate. You can see here, they have the menu on the side, the search button. It has the cart, the shopping cart. If you need to sort things, you need to filter. It has to be very friendly for us, the users. And it has to have not only the pictures, so it has to have that friendly environment for us to navigate. It has to come natural. The images that you're going to use have to be clear and has to be attractive to the eye. And you can even put a video on what you want to choose on. Now, we have another one. Believe it or not, the responsive layout on your templates, sometimes they don't have that facility. So when you choose your templates on your web server, on your web provider, you have to know that it has a responsive layout so it can shrink and adjust according to the screens. Now, another thing that you need to have on your website is the social media integration. We will think that every e-commerce provider will give you a template that has that integration. Not all of them has that integration. So you need to look when you are choosing your provider that it has an integration to your social media, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and you need to be able to do that. So why do you need that? Well, for branding purposes, for online shopping, to get customer service and consumer insights. And nowadays, engagement in the online forums, in the social media forums, is very important for online boutiques. The more you listen to your customers, the more you can know what do they want, and then maybe you can choose better that inventory that you're going to choose, that all those models as they want, you're going to have a better look at what they actually want, what there's the trend, not only about the fashion, but about the real customers that they want. They want more ruffles, they want more stripes, they want more animal print. So you will listen to them. Or maybe your size 8 was a size 8 for very slim bodies or a size 8 for more curvy bodies. So you will know what happens. And that's how you're going to integrate that strategy into your customers' online store. Now, the other part that I want to show you is that integration. This is a Facebook page from Francesca. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pictures, images, happiness, all the accessories that they're like, where you can find it, the logo. And here is the call to action, shop now. You click that immediately in your Facebook page, and you go directly to Francesca's website, and then you start buying from that. So that is what is important for you to have that integration on your website and Facebook and Instagram. So you can use both platforms and you can engage more clients, because ultimately what you want is to drive traffic to your website so you can have sales. Now, I don't know, but a lot of people are scared about the word of SEO friendly. You have to know about SEO, the search engine optimization. Okay. Nowadays, what we need to have is those keywords to be out there in the cyberspace that will be read by all these robots. They're called bots, and they will say and rank your web page higher. So when somebody is Googling their favorite white top, your website will be first instead of others. So what you want to know is to use keywords. In this example that I put from Gap, now this is from Talbot. From Talbot, they put flower embroidered, they put flower embroidered gauze top. The keyword flower has 193,000 mentions on average a month. Embroider has 15,000 a month, gauze 25,000 a month. Compared to if somebody just put the keyword embroidered top, which only has 797 mentions. So if you put flower embroidered gauze top in one single keyword, which are divided by commas, your ranking will be lower than if you put it separately. So here they put flower separately, embroider separately, gauze separately, and top separately. So that's the reason when somebody is looking for a embroidered top or a flower top or a gauze top, this picture will go first rather than if you put embroidered top. So that is important of having an SEO friendly website. How do you know you have it? Well, usually your e-commerce provider has SEO tools for you to use them. And if not, you have to make sure that you have them when you get your package. All these keywords are going into the headings, the images, the titles. You have to make sure that there are no broken links in your web page. There are no pages that doesn't go anywhere. Your images must contain these keywords so the bots can search for your text and can search by image. That's how they work. Another thing that you need to have on these SEO friendly customizations is that your website has to be searchable. Usually the web service providers do that for you. But anyway, you have to understand that you need your Google Analytics to know where is your traffic coming and how are you doing. So that is something very important that you need to have. And that's how you're going to start searching or knowing how you rank on Google and how your target audience is responding to your stuff. Okay. Now, we have key e-commerce providers. So we have Shopify, GoDaddy, Squarespace, Wix, among the most famous and the easiest ones to use. They are all drag and drop. What it means drag and drop, they have pre-made templates, and you just drag the picture, put it back, like literally, and you put it inside the template. They're easy to use. Now, you have to compare your options based on price. How is the tech support? What is the backup that they offer? How secure is their certificate for payments? You don't want a data breach on your customers' credit cards numbers, because you will be part of that data breach, and that's not good for your business. And also you need to know how much they charge per transaction, how much they charge by integrating certain plugins that makes your website faster or more indexable. And of course, you have to choose one that gives you access to social media platforms without so many headaches. Usually they want Shopify is the largest one. Then we have GoDaddy, Wix, and Squarespace. Wix and Squarespace are usually for small business owners that they want to do, or they need to do things by themselves because they are one-man show, one-girl show, or they have a very small team and you need to do it by yourself. They're easy to do. You have a great support service. However, you need to think about your growth, because usually migrating from one platform to a second platform that will give you a larger support for all the inventory that you're going to carry, usually comes with a lot of headaches, and you want your business to always keep running. You don't want your website to crash. You don't want to have problems or transitioning from one website to another. So that's the reason you need to do a lot of research on these guys and choose which one is best for you according to your growth potential, how much inventory you're going to get, and if your online is going to be geographically only for the United States or is going to be global. And all this you need to know if they have integration with USPS, UPS, FedEx, or any other shipping companies, because if they don't have it, you need to look for a plugin or an integration between your e-commerce provider, your shipping provider, and your website. So that gives you a headache, because if not, you're not going to be able to run smoothly all your operations. That's the reason you need to do your research on which one is fits best your budget and your growth potential on your business. Now, let's see. I'm going to tell you how to make your first sale online, even though your website is not even fully operational or functional. While your website is getting into the website providers and you're still trying to figure it out how you are going to put all your inventory up, you need to start making money fast, even though your website is not running. How do you do that? Well, first you have to get a landing page on your website and use social media to engage your audience. You have to do a pre-launch discount, and you're going to track and make social media your platform to drive all those customers back into your website. So you are going to tell them, hey, I'm going to pre-launch my online boutique in 10 days. So for just 10 days, I'm going to give 10% discount on all these pre-order, or a 70% discount, I don't know. And you're going to take them, call now, or click here now. And you're going to start adding or creating what is called an email list. Your email list is your most valuable thing as a business owner online, because you're going to use it for content marketing, you're going to use it for newsletter, you're going to use it to send coupons, you're going to use them to keep customers engaged with you or keep customers knowing your brand at all times. So that is the reason you need to have a pre-launch discount. You are going to use also social media to say, hey, I'm going to give a giveaway for the first 100 customers that like my Facebook page, that are following me on Instagram, and I'm going to give this beautiful accessory from my super store that is going to launch in 10 days. So that's how you do it. You are going to start having sales online, even though your website is not even running, but you have a landing page. So that is the important part, okay? And of course, you're going to bug your real friends, you're going to bug your family, you're going to bug your neighbor, and you're going to harass them. Hey, I'm going to open a beautiful online website, so please start following me, please start looking at my stuff. And if you know somebody that loves Ruffles, I'm the one who can give you the Ruffles. And that's it. That's how you start to do your first sale online, even though you don't have your website fully functional. So this is how you're going to attract more people. You're going to attract a lot of friendly, soon-to-be customers to look at your website. And you're going to listen to the reviews, because that's what you want. You want to know what they want, because you can ask them directly, hey, do you like this picture? Do you like what I'm selling? They might say, I love your website, but you don't have size 12 or size 14. Oh, shucks, not today, but let me see what can I do for you. And oh, I love navy, and you only put it in blue, baby blue or neon blue, or I don't know, there are so many shades of blue. Well, yeah, but What about this? This is in trend. So you interact with your customer, you interact with your friends, family, followers, and that's how you start making those customers loyal to you, and they're going to track you. And they're going to follow you everywhere. You're going to start making your own tribe here. Okay? Now, as Jim said, you have to be very, very disciplined to do this. This is not only that you do on Monday and then you forgot about it because you needed to go and take out the dog for a walk and you forgot. No, this is discipline. Digital marketing is a lot of discipline. So you cannot forget to post. You can't, okay? That is very important. Okay, now the good stuff. How did you promote? How do you do social media marketing? How do you promote your store using social media marketing? Okay, my colleagues and friends there at SCORE know that I always say that social media marketing is the new goals full. Okay, everybody thinks that just because you put a post, you're going to get lots and tons of followers and you're going to be rich. Might be if you do your homework. Okay, so for every post that you look at the website that is good, that you attract people, there's a lot of hours behind that post. It's not that it just happened. No, it actually has a plan. So first of all, you need to know which platform is the one that is going to be good for you. Okay, you have to know if you're going to use Instagram, if you're going to go, use Pinterest, if you're going to go to Facebook, you're going to use TikTok or YouTube or Twitter. It all depends on who is your ideal customer. Hello, business plan, okay? Business plan number one. Who is your ideal customer? Who is your target market? Who are you going to sell your stuff, okay? If you're going to sell your stuff to a teenager, you should use Instagram and TikTok. Believe me, if you're going to use to your target market to a mom with or a grandmother, we don't do TikToks, okay? Or we just kind of scroll around, but we don't look at it. So you need to know who is your target audience, okay? Then you need, of course, a business account. You cannot promote your store with a personal account. That is super important for you to do. You have to set up a business account because you really don't want what is on the internet stays in the internet, okay? Somehow you really don't want to post your new online super beautiful fashion boutique from your personal account where somebody took a picture of you eating cake in a very unfashionable way. So you don't want that. So you want your business account, okay? And you have to do posting strategies, okay? You need to know if you are going to use humor. What is going to be your message? That is a lot, again, business plan. What is your mission? What is your vision? What do you want to be known for, okay? So that is your strategy. Are you going to be funny in the caption? Are you going to use polls? Are you going to use giveaways? Are you going to be motivational content, wellness? What is what makes you unique and that you are going to put it in your strategy, okay? And as I said, paraphrasing Jim, discipline. This is tough. You have to be constant, you have to be creative, and you have to post daily, sometimes even 3 times a day. Okay, so it is a lot. Okay, where are we? Okay, here. I divided into ones. E-commerce and marketing and branding. Okay, e-commerce, the top ones is Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook in that order. Instagram is usually to showcase a product, a service, a storytelling, back office stories on how did you do your stuff, motivating others on how to make your store, how did you do that, and how to sell it. Pinterest is for do-it-yourself, how to be more fashionable or how to create the perfect outfit for the office or for just going out for a walk. So it's a how-tos. That's what Pinterest is about, and showcasing your products, okay? Facebook is a lot for selling online, creating your customer loyalty is usually when people start telling you, I didn't like the fabric, I didn't like the way it arrived late, it arrived not nice, the packaging was awful. And that's how you say, oh, thank you for letting me know that the packaging was awful, that I can do something better, or it came in the wrong size, something. That's how you do Facebook. Now, marketing or branding is where you want to, those are the places you're going to bring people and drive traffic to your website, which is TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. TikTok is literally fun, creative videos. Population is between 16 and 24 years old. They have great campaigns and challenges. Chipotle launched the Whack challenge, how to dance and prepare whack at the same time. Then we have Lush Cosmetics. They did a dance on how to wash your hands, talking about the COVID, with their soap. So those are challenges that it looks fun, the 20 seconds video, but it takes a lot of time to create that 20 seconds video. So those are things that you need to take into account when trying to do these challenges and these YouTube and Twitter's videos to brand and market your online shop. Okay, so where are we? There we are. Now, this is my favorite part. How to promote store with paid influencers or not influencers, okay? So, one before. I want to talk about Instagram, okay? Instagram right now is one of the best ways to sell online. Everybody knows that. And we use something that is called the hashtags, which literally are the SEO keywords. They are exactly the same. So you use a hashtag, for example, on your Monday motivation or your Tuesday tip or your Wellness Wednesday, along with your picture, and say, today is Wellness Wednesday, and I don't know, maybe in your fashion, you have beautiful tops to do exercise or just lounge in your garden, sipping a beautiful cup of lemonade or margaritas in my case, and you just picture with that beautiful hashtag, and there will be others who will be looking at your picture saying, yes, Wellness Wednesday for me is, and they're going to start engaging, so you're going to attract that. Other ways that you can use Instagram to brand your fashion store and create engagement and followers that will translate into future customers are the acronyms. The best one is hashtag OOTD, okay? I'm going to repeat it. Hashtag OOTD, which means outfit of the day, okay? You hashtag your beautiful outfit of the day and you say, this is the OOTD, hashtag OOTD, and you put it and then you make the story. And that's how everybody's going to say, well, that's your OOTD, mine is this. And then you start having all that conversation going. You can use emojis, you can use special events. For example, the upcoming 4th of July. Yesterday was Juneteenth. So all those hashtags are incorporated into your fashion statement, in your fashion online, and that's how you create a lot of community and follow-ups. Okay, where are we? Wait. And TikTok also, I forgot to say, they have some that is called branding lenses. They're like, you put the picture and you put your branding part and they say something about ear bunnies or something with your beautiful brand. So you create those, and those are especially for you. You pay for those, and that's how it works. Now, I was going to talk to you about the paid influencer marketing. This is something that I like. It is not so new because we all know about the influencers. But what I love too is that according to the Influencer Marketing Hub, the latest report on this guy said that for every dollar that you spend on influencer marketing, businesses are making $5. So that is a lot, okay? And how do you do that? You have to do your work, you have to do your research on who is your influencer audience, and if that audience of that influencer is your audience too. So you're going to choose the micro-influencer who has 100,000 followers or less. They have a niche market and they are very good at promoting your brand, your fashion, whatever they're going to do, because they want to have more followers, so they put more effort. Then you have the medium influencer, which has between 100,000 and 1 million. Yes, they have a broader audience and they are very active on posting, but maybe their audience is not exactly what you're looking for. So you have to look at what you want. And of course, we have the Kim Kardashians and other macro influencers that usually are celebrities, and you can follow them. And by following them without even paying, you can say, hey, I love this super Kim Kardashian's top, which by the way, I have one like is almost the same or is even better at a 10th of the price. So you can have Kim Kardashian's top at 10th of the price, and that's how you do it. Okay, but these are paid. These are paid. You have to contact them. It's like a cold calling. You send your email, you tell them what you have, and make a literally business arrangement with them for them to promote your marketing. So our mentors at SCORE in legal can help you with contracts regarding all these marketing contracts with influencers. So don't get scared not knowing contracts with these guys. Okay, we have a mentor for every situation here. Now, something that I love to do also is having influencer marketing without paying. So I love the freebies. I love to do many things free. And I think as a small business owner, we need to support each others with free stuff and not paying that much on advertisement, because word of mouth as a business owner, it means loyalty, and you have a loyal customer, they will stay for you for a long time. So like a cold call, reach out to bloggers with the video bloggers, journalists, editors, industry experts in fashion, and ask them to review your website, to review your stuff with a very, very open opinion, an open mindset. Give me your feedback because I am serving my community. I live in Memorial area, so I'm serving my community here in the Memorial City area, and I want to provide the best service here. So they will look at your online fashion store and they will say, great, no, maybe. And if they like your website, they will promote it in their blogs, in a publishing article. They will talk about it, and that's how you get more customers and you'll get more people into your traffic, okay? This is the increase on influence marketing compared to print advertising. I'm not saying that catalogs or flyers in the newspapers on your mailbox are not good, but this is how the trend is going. You see this gap? People are preferring to have influence marketing rather than just print advertising. I still love the feeling of passing the pages of a beautiful magazine with wonderful pictures. However, I know that I spend more time on my phone looking at people talking in Instagram. So this is important for you also to know about influence marketing and print advertising, okay? Now, remember that I told you that this is very hard, like a lot of postings and a lot of things to do. And you might ask, either I take care of my business selling, or I take care of the social media posting. I can't do both. So thankfully they have what they're called social media management tools, and you can spend one single afternoon doing all your posts and use schedules with your social media calendar. And these guys, Hootsuite, Later, and Soho Social are the lead management tools in the market right now. And they all have different integrations with your e-commerce providers. You have to look at those. And what I like the most about this is that you sit one afternoon with your creative mind, your favorite drink, and all those things that you need to do in front of you, and you create all your social media strategy one day. And these guys, Hootsuite later or Soho Social Tools, will schedule for you, will post for you exactly where you want it and how you want them. Okay, that is important, and that will take a lot of time from your back so you can focus on running your business, your shipping, your payments, your inventories. So that's something that you need to look at right now. Okay, there's not one better than the other one. You just need to see which one gets better, or it has integration with the e-commerce provider that you choose. So that's the only thing you need to know. Okay, now paid advertisement. When you are new in online business and you are new in social media, that is a little bit tricky because you need to learn the lingo on Google Analytics, the Google Search Console, the Instagram business area, the Facebook business, and the Google business. So it is not scary, it's just you need to sit down and learn. Like you have to make time into your business agenda to learn about how each one of them runs, because all of them have different requirements. But what I can tell you about is that Google Ads are so far the lead, of course, on advertisement. Then we have sponsored content in Instagram and Facebook ads. Okay, Google Ads, again, keywords, the intent. Intent means how probable or how the search pattern of the user has to be reflected on your advertisement. So it can be how to wear ruffles, how to wear navy tight tops. Okay, so that's what you are going to focus on Google Ads. It's about organic search results, contrary to Facebook ads and Instagram ads that are more visual, that you have to be very creative. You have to be extremely clever to grab the attention. You have 2 seconds to grab the attention of somebody to do this. And you just need to know your, again, your target audience and your call to action. So thank you. I don't know if you have any more questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so we can go back to the meeting. There we are. Thank you, everybody.
Richard, I'm gonna launch the poll. So unmute yourself, Richard, and then go over the Q&A. And now people can raise their hand if they want to be recognized. But right now, you'll go through and answer the questions.
Do I go to full screen, speaker view, which?
No, that's okay. Just
Stay
talk.
just like we are.
Yeah, that's all right. I've just launched the poll. So just want to let you guys know that please give us some feedback as we are answering your questions here. Go ahead, Richard, if you could want to just go through the questions.
Okay, do we want them to answer first? Give them a moment to answer the.
No, they can do it while they're listening.
Okay. In reverse order, Gabby, can you critique my website? Is that something you can do as a SCORE mentor?
Yes, I can give feedback on the websites. One of the things that I like to tell our clients is that we don't criticize others. We provide feedback. Okay, we are going to ask you what are your highs and your lows, and how we think you should some like editing, but at the end you need to check it out. But yes, we do that.
Gabby, I'm so glad you brought that up, because I forgot to mention, or I should mention during our presentation for SCORE generally, we don't do the work for our clients. We help them. They bring to us and we review, we critique, and we suggest better ways to do what they're doing. But we do not compete with private enterprise like lawyers and so forth. They have to create the documents, they can bring them to us, and we can review them on the basis of what they're trying to do with their business plan, for instance. I want to make sure we understand that.
Exactly.
Okay, can you talk a minute about YouTube marketing? In other words, if you have a YouTube, you got people interested in watching you, is there a rule about segmenting and advertising into their website so you can get them to after they enjoy the website, the YouTube, going into their marketing aspect and say, go to my website? Is that allowed?
Yes, that is allowed. And after they post the videos, usually at the end of the video, every YouTuber makes the comment, and don't forget to register, subscribe, and look at and go to my website, and they mention the website. At the bottom in YouTube, there's a white part where they make the description of what they're talking. Usually that's where the link is. You should have that. Every YouTuber knows that the call to action has to be on the white part of the editing or the description, because that's what you look. Video, call to action, that's what it is. And yes, you can integrate both.
Thank you. Here's a question for Jerry. If you have limited investment, what size range should I stick to?
Well, like I said, you're probably going to have to buy 6s, and so unless you buy from AliExpress, so you're probably going to end up with 1, 2, 2, 1. 1 small, 2 medium, 2 large, 1 extra large.
Okay, and a follow-up question. If I have a very limited budget, aside from including jewelry, which doesn't require a lot of money, what should I start with?
Unequivocally, just tops, okay? Tops, tops, tops.
I concur.
Jim, one for you. When you go to market and you're placing an order, do they require you to put down a deposit?
No.
I would say no, but
Only on shipment.
But as Jerry said, don't place an order when you're in the market, not until you've been doing it for more than a couple of years. Take your information, take pictures, go home, do an assortment plan, color and sizes, and then give the order. So when you send them back, an order form, they're not going to ask you for a deposit. But don't do it in the market.
That certainly would be negative cash flow if you had to put down a deposit, wouldn't it? Yes, indeed. Right. Okay, here's a one for Shaki. How do I help pick a name for my online fashion store? I'll open that up to y'all.
I think we should have a one-on-one conversation on it.
Yes?
That's too specific a question.
One thing I'd just like to mention when you pick a name for any business, you shouldn't have to be required to have a byline to tell you what business that you're in. Make the name of your company fairly descriptive of what you're doing. It's easy for marketing, it's easy for repetition, because the name is everything. So that's my take on that.
And regarding online businesses, you need to know that your name and your tagline needs to have the keywords for your search engine optimization, okay? So you need that tagline to have 1 or 2 keywords that are natural to your mission, but they have to be high ranking, okay? So just keep that in mind when you're making that tagline.
Good point.
And don't you also need to have a URL that reflects the name?
That's your domain.
Yeah.
Okay, the domain sometimes do not reflect a keyword, because sometimes is, for example, Gabby Rendon Fashion Online Boutique, that will not high rank anything. But if my tagline means the best tops, ruffle tops in the market, ruffle tops, I know it ranks very high, then that word should be in my tagline.
Here's an easy question from Ashley.
Okay, Richard, can I make one more comment?
Oh, sure, go ahead, Jim.
I talked about the fact that a lot of that's why we keep reminding them that they should come and have a mentoring session, whether it's on Zoom or however it is, because when they go get their DBA, they need to pick the right name so that they don't get a DBA and then discover I didn't pick the right name. It's not descriptive. I picked the name Exxon. Well, we all know what Exxon meant because they spent billions of dollars making us know. But when you make up and have a name that no one knows, you could be in the food truck business or you could be a car wash and they can't tell the difference. So they need to have discussions with us. Not that you can't waste $16 because you can go get another DBA later, but why do that? Have a discussion with us first.
Okay. Here's a question from Ash. She missed the beginning of the program. Can I get the recording later? The answer is yes. It will be on houston.score.org. Take a workshop. It'll be posted after our session.
They've got 3 people who have raised hands, Betsy, Tonya, and Ann. I'm going to just unmute them one at a time. So go ahead, Betsy. Ask your question. Betsy? Okay, we'll move on. Tonya, go ahead and ask your question.
Hey guys, hey Raj.
Hi.
Nice to see you again. Okay, so I currently have a blog that's up and running. I just barely got my trademark for it or what have you. And I am thinking about pivoting my business in the eyes of COVID. So with my blog, I'm wondering, do I need to get another DBA? Because what I want to do is create shirts with the creativity of the blog, but it is going to be the blog name on my shirt. So do I need to get another DBA or can I just run with what I already have?
Well, Gabby, you may want to answer, but my initial take would be that don't create too many DBAs.
From the online perspective, you don't want, how many followers do you have in your blog?
I have, I think about 2,000 right now, and on Instagram and LinkedIn, if you add up all of my social media platforms, probably about 4,000.
You definitely don't want to change your neither the domain nor the DBA because you already made a presence. Why do you want to change a presence?
Right.
You will start from scratch again.
Okay. Okay. Thank you guys.
You're welcome.
And I'm going to unmute you. Go ahead and ask your question.
And still muted.
Yeah, I know. All right. Richard, go ahead and go through your list. Oh, hold on. Some more people have raised their hand. Just a sec.
Hello?
Now Ann's available.
Oh,
I'm
okay. Go ahead,
sorry.
Ann.
I didn't know that I could. The thing opened up. Okay, so you're wanting my question, huh? I wasn't. Okay, so just telling you that I'm doing some social media things and I'm doing some lead generation, and I decided to start an e-commerce store. But I haven't had, it's not a priority yet. I just actually had some guy in Bangladesh or some throw up a store for me, and I just off the top of my head, I called it Hearts of Fire, and I have a little flaming heart. And he was asking me, what do you want to sell? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't know. But as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, well, you know, I would like to sell. I love, the reason I called it that is I love, you know, flaming heart and folk art and things from Day of the Dead and things like that. So maybe I would do that, but I don't have any followers. I said, no, because he goes, well, people can start buying. I'm like, no, I don't want to start buying. I'm not ready. So who do I talk to? Who to talk about what I want to do next?
Gabby?
Raj, I think you could answer that better.
Yeah, that's it. You need to have a one-on-one meeting with one of us to know
Okay.
exactly
Yeah.
where you're heading.
Well, one thing when I had to go through a decision process really fast because I had no idea what I was doing.
And I tell you what, because
I knew I didn't want WooCommerce. I really,
no,
I
and
think I-
just one second, please. It's tough for us to answer this thing. It's a very specific question that a lot of us mentor on Wednesdays. So if that day is free for you, just write to us, one of us, and then we'll set up a meeting and go through this.
okay. I have
One
one
question. I have a question for Can you hear me, Raj?
Yeah.
All right. The question is, when are we available? What days or what hours? Is it for all of us? What's the general consensus?
Yeah, so Jerry and Jim and I are available Wednesdays. Gabriella is available on Wednesdays and Mondays. 9 to 3 is roughly our preferred time. Richard is available generally on Tuesdays.
And also other days as well now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm now mentoring because of Zoom. I'm now pretty much available Monday through Friday. I'm even doing a few mentoring sessions, at 7 o'clock at night.
Okay, so you take us up, guys.
So
We are
you just
available
send me
quite a
an
bit.
email and we'll figure out a time that works for both of
Okay.
us.
John Harris, ask your question. Unmute yourself, John, and ask the question. If not, I'm going to go to Eileen. Okay,
Can you
go
hear me?
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, we can now.
I just wondered where Etsy fits in the picture of Shopify and places like that.
Okay, Etsy, it's a unique marketplace. It's specifically for handmade products and crafts, and it has their own website on how you showcase your products. Yet you can have an integration with Shopify, from Shopify to link to your Etsy account, but Etsy does not allow integration because Etsy is the marketplace. What Etsy wants is for everybody to shop through Etsy instead of your website. I don't know if that answered your question.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's see. We've got Eileen. Go ahead, Eileen, ask your question. Unmute yourself.
But you can pay somebody to do it. I did it.
Eileen, okay. I'm going to go to Castro. Okay, Castro, go ahead, unmute yourself.
Good morning. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so first I just want to say thank you so much. I am Miss Castro with Houston Community College. I'm in the Career Services Department. And so I just want to say thank you all so much for hosting this awesome event. Some of our students were able to participate in February. And so once I got the invite, I did send out a text message and an email to quite a few of the fashion students at Houston Community College.
Hello, you've muted yourself.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Eileen. Hi, y'all. Can you hear me?
Wait, Raj.
Yeah,
Let me
go ahead.
finish up Castro. Let me finish up with Castro's reason for she's calling
Yeah,
in.
I know, but where did she disappear?
But I know what she wants to say. I just received a text from her, okay?
Okay,
She's asking the students from HCC to send an email that they attended. Evidently, it's for their credits. It's kenya.castro@hccs.edu. She's requesting all students to please send her an email, a text that you were here. Thank you.
okay.
Thank you guys. And thank you for having this for us, okay?
Okay.
Because it's
All
really
right,
helping a
Eileen.
lot of our
Hi, y'all. Thank you for having me. It's great information. I've already emailed Jerry and I heard back from Jerry already. I wanted to set up a meeting and Gabriella too. I have this question for Gabriella momentarily for YouTube. So I do have a YouTube channel and I haven't been successful, and that's something just I do it like leisurely. But now that I wanted to do the online retailing, business, I love the idea you said, how to utilize the YouTube. But my concern is, like I said, my past experience just haven't been very successful in terms of even like reaching out the crowd. I've been having the YouTube for like 2 years, only have like less than 60 followers. How do I expand, the followership, I guess?
Okay, how do you expand your audience? That's what you're asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So the way YouTubers and any social media management goes for growing your audience, it's literally, you have to do your homework on your keywords, and the content that has to be original, has to be creative, especially for YouTube. And you need to know how you're going to integrate your fashion online boutique with that content. And that's how you have to create it. Yes, Richard.
Yes, we have a question, and that is, Jim and Jerry, do the manufacturers that are selling their obviously their clothing also furnish with models pictures that you can electronically import into your website?
Not really. They just
Not really.
sell merchandise.
One thing I got to tell you guys is that do not just pick a picture off of a website and use it. Copyright violations are being enforced. I mean, people go after you, and it can get expensive if you are successful. So look for images that are, if you need to take images, either take images that are not, which are open to use, but search like that. But your best bet is what Gabriela said. Go find some, your friends and family, somebody who's willing to model for you for a hamburger.
Raj, there's questions from latecomers. Can you please repost the contact information for the panel today? If you could bring that up for just a second.
Yes, I gotta, yeah, just a moment, I will.
Keep going with questions though, Richard. We can
Yeah,
talk and
correct.
put
Keep
that
going.
up at the same time.
Right. Oh, she's talked about where are the best places to order from, whether it be China or whether it be Pakistan. What's the current thinking to get the best pricing?
Repeat that question.
Right now, China's, the very best pricing is gonna be in Vietnam. Pakistan is limited. I mean, there are limited things that can come fair that have decent quality, as the same with Bangladesh. To a certain extent, some knitwear out of Bangkok, in Thailand. It's hard to do business. It's hard to do business in those places.
Yeah.
Very, very hard. You don't have an agent. You don't have, I mean, it's hard enough to do business with Alibaba in China through you using them as your agent. So you got to do lots of samples, and it's not easy. I would, depending on a $30 item, to save $1, I would stay in China with with known manufacturers. In fact, if you're starting a business from scratch, I would use domestic people, buy wholesale, let them worry about the difficulties until you have the expertise and you know what you're doing.
Good advice, Jim. That's excellent advice. And I have another question. Talks about how do I find a mentor with import background. Let me just say to the audience, you can go to our houston.score.org website, and you can put find a mentor, and you put the keyword that you're looking for, and we will connect you with one of our local or one of our national mentors that has expertise in that specific subject matter you're putting in where it says type. Okay? Next question. Jerry, how do you keep up with the colors that's in for the year, the in colors?
There's the, what's the color?
The popular, the in colors. How do you keep up with them?
Two things. One, there's a color industry, I can't remember, Color Corporation of America, that says what the next fashion colors are. And number two, when you go to market, it just seems like every manufacturer knows what's going on. So as you go from showroom to showroom, you will see that everybody is doing orange this season, or 8 out of 10 people are doing orange. So you'll know what the color direction is.
Jerry, another question for you. Asking if Alex Press generally has smaller sizes, and should you order, if you need a size 12, should you order a 14? Are you familiar with Alexa Press?
Say it again.
ALIEXPRESS. This client's asking about.
No, I don't know it. Sorry.
Okay.
Neither do I.
Okay.
The average size, by the way, of a woman in the United States is size 14.
So do you consider that a niche in the marketplace that's being underserved, Jerry?
It's not underserved, it's just a general statement. So the larger sizes sell very well today.
Thank you.
12, 14, 16, 18.
Here's a question for Sakara. If I get a DBA in Montgomery County, what is the website? I believe the different counties are all through the county clerks, aren't they, Raj? Generally
Yes.
speaking?
Yes.
Yeah. And remember, because you get a DBA in one county, it does not mean you're protected in another county in Texas.
You're not protected by any DBA in any
Correct.
county. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as protection.
Right.
It's the-
You want to be Acme Plumbing? There are 57 Acme Plumbing DBAs in Harris County alone. They don't protect anything.
That's
They
that
just give you the right to do business.
LLC, is that the way to go register with?
Yes,
No.
LLC or corp, if you want to protect the name.
If you want to protect the name, you probably all have to go to a subchapter S corporation. But it
Or
has to do with
LLC, both would
use.
do it.
It gets complicated with use and who else has used it, and going to get trademark and or priorities kind of stuff like that is very expensive, and in many cases it's not useful. I mean, we have a intellectual property attorney who's excellent, but in 98% of the cases you just don't worry about that stuff. If you use your name first and you use it consistently and somebody else comes and steals it, you have rights even though you don't have a trademark or a copyright. In a court of law, the fact that you used it first and can prove you used it on a certain date in 1986, you got it. So don't worry about such things like that, but that's what you should come and talk to a mentor about.
One last thing, Richard, if I could get in, that if you are already in business, you really, really want to see one of us, because I guarantee any one of us will make sure that we will increase your business. We get paid, by the way, by having you get successful. That's how we get paid.
With your smiles.
We really are dedicated to making you guys become, and also we're dedicated to, if you're just starting in business, to make sure you don't lose your money, that we guide you correctly so that you become a business and you grow your business. That's how good Richard is, okay? That's how good Jim is, all right?
Yeah.
And Rob.
Jerry, I know if I need a public relations officer, I'm going to call you, okay?
Okay.
Just, follow up to that.
But
Somebody's raised a
Richard,
hand.
I have to say this. Jerry was being facetious. We are all volunteers. Out of all those 10,000, there's only like 30 or 40 of them in the headquarters in Washington, D.C. somewhere who actually make a salary. We're all volunteers, and we're doing this. This is one of our ways to give back to the community, to help you succeed in your business. So I don't want anybody to take it that we get paid based on your success. That was meant to be a joke, I think.
Yes,
Oh, certainly
Tonya, go ahead.
Hey, Raj, I had another question. Okay, so is there like a checklist? I know from watching the modules at the very beginning of the presentation, and I paid attention to all of the suggestions, but I'm a visual learner, and I think it would be better for me if I like had a checklist of things that I want to have in order before I have a launch date. That would kind of help me out a lot. And also I had questions about who were the manufacturers, I guess, especially like in Texas or anywhere in the United States. That would be great too.
Can I address that? Yes, on our website, houston.score.org. Browse the library. There is a business startup checklist, which is very well done, which you can do.
I think he's talking about this.
Startup checklist right there. got all kinds of things on it, and spending some time with one of us or any other mentors could save you a lot of trouble. Now, when you're talking about Texas manufacturers, to be honest with you, other than some denim guys out in West Texas and in and around El Paso, I don't think there's anybody producing fashion goods in the state of Texas. Jerry?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, we just don't do that kind of stuff in the U.S. anymore. We're not competitive on the labor markets, and unfortunately, as we discovered even with COVID-19, when it came to personal protection equipment, we were buying everything offshore. We didn't make any of that stuff here, and so when the world was going crazy, we couldn't get it either. Everybody was competing with everybody because we don't make that stuff here. We haven't made a good-looking blouse, or I think Hartschafer and Mark still makes a few suits in Chicago, but there's not much apparel made here in the U.S. Just go look at the labels in any store you want to go pick.
Okay, thank you.
Here's another question. They're asking again to please post the contact information. Raj, if you could bring that slide back up.
Right.
Folks didn't get a chance to write it down, but of course you can also go into our website, because this will be posted after today, to bring up that same information.
And while you figured it out, folks, I mean, we all have the same email address. It's our first name dot last name at @ScoreVolunteer, which is one word, .org. And so it's Jerry.Hoffman, Jim.Davis, Richard.Stanley, Raj.Marshallwala. In fact, Raj actually created a separate website. It's called Raj.M, right?
Yes.
Yes. So you don't have to worry about the Marshall. You can just do Raj.M and you'll get him. But all of us have the same email address. Our first name dot last name at scorevolunteer.org. But he's going to put the chart back up there when he gets there.
Adolfo, you wish to say anything? Adolfo.
Hey, Adolfo, you always have something to say. Come join us.
No, I just wanted to make sure how Gabriela is putting her name, if it is Gabriela or it is Gabby, or how. You just
Gabriela.
Gabriela.
Okay.
And for our audience, I am fully bilingual in English and Spanish. I'm from Mexico. So si necesitan la ayuda en español, podemos hacer cualquier tipo de cita con todos los mentores que tenemos de habla hispana. Para todos los que nos están escuchando, podemos volver a hacer un resumen de todo lo que hablamos el día de hoy. ¿Ok? Gracias.
Yeah, translate that, would you?
Tanya, go ahead and ask your
I'm
question.
kidding.
Unmute yourself.
Gabby, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
How important are certain colors on the website?
Oh, that is very important. Usually you need a white background. Thank you. A white background, so your images can pop up. I don't know if you noticed on my slides, and all the websites that have right now is white background, so your images can pop up. But the best thing that you can do is go and look the websites or the online fashion stores that they are right now that are very popular. Go and look what they have and look at the templates and check what your image and your business will say about it. It has to reflect your personality, not only what is out there. And another thing about the images, everybody was asking about professional photographers. What you don't want to do is just to put the top, is called, on a hanger, because it will look like a Craigslist post or a Mercari post, like it's a second market post, like just.
Repeat that, Gabriela, you broke up.
Okay, what you don't want to do in your images is to put the top on a hanger and post it, because that looks like a Craigslist post or a Mercari post that you're selling something that is, I don't want it anymore, and I'm just tossing out of my closet. So it is very important for you to, you can use your children, you can use your parents, you can use your friends, neighbors. You have to have those permissions also to post those pictures. That's important. And or you just put it from neck down so they don't show the identity. Yes, Richard.
Well, here is a question. Someone's asking, what is the official name of the Dallas show, the fashion show? Because they have so many shows in Dallas, of course, because it's a big center. Everything from toys to whatever. How do you identify it looking it up from Google?
Dallas Women's Apparel Mart, and it's in the, oh God. What's the name of that building, Jim? The World Trade Center.
The World Trade?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dallas Apparel. Yeah, if you Google it, you'll find it.
Dallas Market Center.
Yes, but Dallas Women's Apparel Mart is another name also.
I mean, there's all kinds of merchandise there, from furniture to toys to whatever it is. So it's the Dallas Women's Fashion Apparel.
Jim, your several comments about your top that exposes both the stomach and the shoulders. Is that something that's trending? Of course, it's summertime, but I mean, is that something that is more not only attention getting, but is it also something that's being sold? Is it moving in the marketplace?
I don't think there's any doubt that whether it's the concept of a open shoulder with the sleeve under it and over it has been super popular, as well as just straight across, showing no straps or no anything. I made that funny comment about the sleeveless blouse because I think Jerry would concur that in the Missy business, sleeveless items are, not that they don't sell some, but they're not the most popular. They're not the most flattering thing for older women.
Thank you. There are a lot of questions that really we can't answer online. I think if you have a specific question that we haven't answered, if you could just call one of us, we'll be happy to talk to you on the phone. And that's about the last of the questions that are very specific that we need to punt on, at least for this webinar.
Jerry, Raj, can you put the contact stuff back up on the screen?
Can't you guys see it? That's what I'm showing.
No. I'm showing the web score.
Hold on. Let me try again.
We had the score.
What I see is not what, yeah. Can you see it now?
No.
Well, it's about to, yes. Now it came up.
Yes.
Congratulations, guys. Congratulations, Gabby.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Gabby, it was sure fun having you on this year. Jerry and Jim and I have worked together now this is our third year for doing this, and you're a delight to have us join our panel. Thank you very much for taking the time and saying, yes, I'd like to be a part of it.
Thank you so much. I feel honored to be invited with these wonderful guys, and they have so much experience and to learn from. I'm sure having a lot of fun mentoring with them. So thank you.
Raj, anything else before we shut down?
No, that's it. Everybody, thank you for participating in the poll, attending this workshop. And I'll put up one more time the website. If you could go to our website, go to Take Workshop, and you can download those the information. Give us a day or two. It takes a while for the recording to be for Zoom to set up the recording for us, and it may take us a day or two to post these things. But we will be posting the copies of the slides that you saw and the recording of the presentations.
Jerry and Jim, thank you again for the third year of participating. You guys are great. You've got the current information right at your fingertips and disseminating it to us. Thank you again for all your cooperation. See you next year.
Thank you, guys. Thanks,
you, everybody.
Gabriela. Thanks, Richard.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.